Well, tell us about the genesis of this film. Now, I know it started out as a play, right? The script did.
Yes, it started out as it was about 35 pages of a one-act play, and I wanted to just do something, and
we cut him off at the pass.
Yeah.
Okay.
Guy, I read it with Guy, and he was like, "This is terrific, but I do short films. I don't do plays." So
he threw it at you.
But these guys are actually both incredible actors, and they're too modest to talk about how they. I think they met through Howard Fine's master's acting class, as well as Boti, and so they had performed this, I guess, at least once in class.
No, we had only met in class, and then I knew that Guy was a terrific actor, and so I said, hey, I've got this script that I'd love for you to read and read it with me, and he really. I mean, he took the ball on this, and he was like, you know what, I think this would be a great short film, and let's, it's in one location, and let's just try to do it. And, that was, for me as a writer, that was the thing that I wanted to do from the beginning. I just wanted to do something.
Mm-hmm.
No one would see it as a play, though, too. I mean,
Sadly.
Some people would see it, but, most of our time would be spent... trying to sell tickets and fill the place, and
right.
And now 29 people have seen it.
Yeah.
Whoa! Oh, it just went to 30. I just checked.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Just checked his tweet.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. Well, tell people what the film's about without giving too much away, of course.
It's about a guy who is living his life, and two people from his past sort of come back and make him confront these things that he hasn't really dealt with, right? That that they sort of bring this thing to a head that he has been pushing to the side.
Mm-hmm. A chimp.
The chimp talk. Yeah, we cut the chimp out of the picture. So.
Right.
So we probably shouldn't mention him.
Oh, I'm sorry.
His handler gets really upset.
Chimp agent.
Yeah, the agent. Yeah.
It was too bloodthirsty.
Yeah.
People at home love when you do inside jokes that they don't know what we're talking about at all.
Hey guys, snare drum.
There's no chimp in the movie.
It's really a revenge film, isn't it? It's like
yes.
People come back and they're trying to get revenge because they were done wrong in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that at the core, that's what it's all about. Is just this thing that happened in the past that for one of the characters, he's gone on with his life and done really well and been very successful, and the character I play just can't let it go, and it's this thing that stops him in his life. Oh. And so the film is kind of about this one night where revenge is exacted upon this person, but it all goes horribly wrong.
So you can tell it's a talky picture.
Yes.
Sounds pretty intense.
It is intense. Yeah.
It is, yeah. Any favorite scenes or favorite moments in the film for you guys?
The kitchen scene and the table scene for me are my
table scene, aka the knife scene.
Right.
Yeah. We have it posted on YouTube too, so you can watch that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very cool.
You can see the knife scene. The kitchen scene, you have to.
Yeah.
You have to watch the whole movie for that.
That's not on YouTube.
No, I don't think so.
Now, Blair, what was any favorite scenes for you as a director? I know you said, I saw in your bio, you have an uplifting style, in your own words, a celebration of simple.
I like that.
That's actually, that is true, but that's actually primarily because I'm a TV commercial director more than anything else. I've done movies and TV and things like that.
He was saying he did TV. He works on TV commercials in his shed.
In the shed, yeah.
He's got a really state-of-the-art shed.
I have to shed it all the time.
Right.
So
the word wasn't finished.
But a lot of the commercials that I do are the other sort that they are celebrating the simple things in life. So it's like small things, and I do enjoy doing that. I think it's one of the best things. So and with this picture, these guys and Boti came to me about directing it, and I said, well, let me read the script, and I read it, and I thought it was terrific. And
that was a good idea to read the script first.
Yeah, it helps. It helps. I mean, quite frankly, I would have committed because Boti happens to be my wife, so there was not much I could say. No, but I wanted to anyway. So and the script, in all honesty, was absolutely terrific. And I said, yeah, please, I want to do this. But as far as celebrating the simple stuff, basically it was simple in that it was a talkie picture, and it was taking place all in one night over the course of, I would say, like 8 hours, 12 hours, so condensed into 45 minutes. But so I was very attracted to it, and I like that it was a, if you will, a talkie picture, a picture that took place. There is plenty of action in it, and as far
Peanut
as
throwing.
well, see, that's great. I'm glad you brought that up because, there are little subtle things. I don't know if I have a favorite scene per se, but these guys, all three of them, are really, really, really terrific actors. And they one little thing that Andrew was doing, I don't even think he was aware that he was doing at the time, was there was a scene where Guy's character is sort of taunting him by tossing peanuts at him as he taunts him verbally about something, and it was just I don't even know if that was scripted. And Guy picked up on this throwing the peanuts, and then after that sort of argument's over, then Andrew's character is very upset about stuff, but he just sort of picks up these peanuts. It was something he was doing, and it was a very subtle thing. But I'm like, oh man, I love that, because it just is so real, and it's very simple. But those peanuts sort of represent, to me, the frustrations he's having inside, and the fact that he would stop and be so meticulous at a point like this, where they've just talked about something that was rather serious.
And you talked about the genesis of this thing, and that's part of what I feel so fortunate about, is that I found someone who appreciates simple things, because that's what I appreciate. Is like, it's kind of what I wrote, and what I was hoping to do is, do something that has some space and has, it doesn't hit people over the head with things, and allows people to sort of take in what they're seeing and hearing, and let their imaginations go. And so
But some head hitting does occur, actually.
but just the fact that you had an appreciation for those simple things in
raindrops on roses.
But things do get really they get so complicated, don't they, and convoluted, and I think that's why with 3D and we can't compete with any of the massive spectacle, obviously, when you're making an independent film. Right. So you've got to really dig in down deep and really try and get those moments going. But you don't have anything else.
Didn't you say you're doing a 3D version of this?
Yeah, this show is in 3D now.
Night music.
You guys look very 3D.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Watch this.
Nice. No glasses needed either.
We've got a call. We've got Bud on the line. The number's 800-405-6425. Bud, you're on the air.
Yes, very good. I have a question for all.
Bud, your phone stinks.
Start over, Bud. We didn't catch that.
Filmmaking. I want indie filmmaking mainstream.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bud, hang up and call right back because
I'm
you're
guessing
cutting
it's
out.
reception more than the connection.
Every syllable is cutting out. So hang up and call right back.
He said filmmaking. We know about.
I think he
I
think he said all of your history with filmmaking. Did I catch that
yeah,
right?
something sounded like history. Feel free to dive in if you want. Yeah.
Sure. Well,
tell me about your history.
Yeah, my history is just, I'm an actor, and I don't like to wait for the phone to ring, and I want to be proactive, and, I want to, so I started to make films, and I learned how to do it that way, just, getting friends and getting cameras. Every set that I would go on, there's always a few people that would stand out, that were brilliant, and that you'd become friends with. Keep everyone's phone number,
right.
Start to look at scripts and develop them, and just go out and make them.
Well, even before that, you made your first film at 7, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I wanted to start early.
The funny thing is, I was watching it the other day. Yeah, I should stick it on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I play a drunk, which is what I play night music.
And you were
there's
7?
been no development whatsoever in my acting. Like, it's just from
a 7-year-old drunk.
Same.
Typecast.
What was it called?
Well, it was in England, so.
Oh, okay. So you got started late.
Makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, it was called Horror Girl, and my sister played somebody that came back from the dead, and I was a drunk guy that couldn't believe it was happening outside the hospital. Yeah.
You were a drunk kid.
But I produced it too. So that
okay.
That's like Super 8.
Yeah.
I like
Yes,
yeah, it was really
very
back
much
when my dad shot it. Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Did you do any?
That was the DP.
Did you meet an alien while making the movie? No, I'm kidding.
Well, how did you even know how to play drunk at 7? Was it a lot of like
Because I lived
hiccuping?
in England.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it, but I like.
You actually had me beat by 3 years. My first
Yeah.
film I did when I was 10. I made. Yeah, and it was also a horror, I think.
Yeah, well, you have to start.
You got to start there.
Yeah.
It was called Psycho Motel, and I still don't, to this day, don't know if we were spoofing Psycho or trying to copy Psycho. But
Psycho
Do you have a copy?
Motel.
Do you have a copy of the film?
I have a VHS
Oh,
copy.
you got a
Whoa.
poster.
Yeah, I
A
should.
what?
I was going to say what it stands for, but I don't even remember. VHS.
Video
Vehicular
Hensile
Hensel
Oh, very good.
Cerebellum. I don't know
Very
either.
good, Steve.
Cerebellum with an S.
It looks like Bud's calling back.
Oh, okay.
All right.
But he's. It doesn't even look like he's on hold yet. Let's try this.
We haven't even answered the question.
Oh,
that-
it looks like Brian's still talking to him.
Oh, okay. Well, we can continue with
Yes,
the
let's
question
get-
that we.
let's go
assumed
to-
you
Talk about
asked.
Andrew's
Okay.
Okay.
sure.
filmmaking background.
What?
No, Andrew was just tuned
Your,
out for a
your
second.
history as a filmmaker.
Yeah.
And begin.
No, okay. Well, I started in the theater, and I wanted to. I wrote this thing because I wanted to just do something, and then I came across a guy who, like I said, he was, I had written this thing, and I was like, this is kind of a one-act play, and he was like, I think it's great, but I don't do theater. I don't do plays.
Right.
So,
But he's English.
yeah.
Oh,
So,
he drinks.
right. That's the only.
Yeah, so he should be doing plays.
Yeah, the only thing about him being English.
A bloody play. Make it into a film.
So he was like, let's do a short film instead. And I said, that sounds terrific. And so that's kind of what got me started on that. Doing he was really the thing that got this going in terms of being a film, which is why we're talking about it right now.
And you have several other films already planned that you're making, right? You're writing and directing.
Shooting
Creating a
next month.
monster.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Which one are you shooting next month?
Oh, it's called Seeing Each Other.
Oh, okay. I remember I saw the cast list and things on your website.
Yeah, terrific.
And
yeah.
he's directing it too.
Nice.
Yeah, it's so yeah. Now that Guy got me into it,
Yeah.
I'm hooked. Yeah, so I'm gonna make this feature film, and
Oh, this one's a feature. Cool.
it's a feature. Yeah,
Although Night Music is like almost a feature.
it's like a half
yeah.
feature.
It's a half
right?
feature.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where does that fit? I mean, like as far as distribution goes, or something. What do you do with a 45-minute film?
It's a very good question. It's
Guys trying to
Yeah,
figure
yeah.
that
We're,
out right now.
we're doing the Dynamo player, which is an embeddable player that you can put on Facebook, on your blog,
Okay.
and it links to PayPal and Amazon. So anyone can watch it on any site and hit buy, and for 99 cents they can watch the film.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
So, and they can go to nightmusicmovie.com
Mm-hmm.
and they get a link to it there. So, yeah.
Nice.
And anyone who calls in tonight too we'll send them a copy of the film.
Ah,
Nice.
So,
800-405-6425.
Is Bud still on hold?
Yeah, I mean, you basically owe Bud a copy.
Yeah,
right
if
now.
we can speak to him this
yeah.
time.
So,
Should we go to him?
Yeah.
Bud, welcome back. Thank you for returning.
Oh, yes, thank you guys for having me once again. My question is, can you guys hear me now?
Yes. That's his question.
Very, very good. I have a question for all three of you. You all are filmmakers. Have you all done mainstream and indie films?
What was that verb?
Repeat that slower.
mainstream indie.
Have you guys both done mainstream and indie films?
Ah, okay. All right.
And I wanted to know, what is the benefits of an indie film over mainstream? I know that there are some benefits for indie filmmakers as far as maybe easy screenwriting, is it easier basically to do an indie film over a mainstream film with very little budget?
Well, we're losing
We
him
lost
again.
him again.
But I
Bud?
think we got the
I think
gist
we
of his
got that.
question.
We
Thank you,
love you.
Bud. Oh, and
Call
stay
in
on the
next
line if you want to
Oh, yeah.
get a copy
Yeah,
of,
especially about
of
different
Night Music.
Yeah, Bud, if you can hear us, give our engineer your address.
Well, you guys were all pointing at each other to answer the question while it was being asked. I think it ended on Guy.
It did end on me, but I think Blair can speak best to this. But what I did want to say is, it's not really like you have a choice.
Right.
You do what's right in front of you at the moment. And if you're up for a film, if one's in development that you fit, and you get an audition and you go on and you do that and you make it, then that's what you do. But if that's not happening, then you do one yourself, and that's indie. So it's not really. It depends what's in front of you at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something that you can create. You just do what's right there, and you go for it. instead of just kind of sitting around and waiting. So indie films happen when nothing else is happening.
Right. Right.
Well, Blair's directed some much bigger films also, with Bubble Boy and Fearless. And
Don't just say Bubble Boy.
I mean,
Bubble Boy.
It's Bubble Boy. I'm sorry.
People love that movie.
Of course.
Bubble
Boy.
Bubble Boy.
I failed. All right. Bubble Boy.
Yeah.
And Fearless.
Yeah, both of which were, I guess mainstream movies.
Sure,
studio pictures.
Studio
and
pictures.
Studio TV show. But, and this is actually the first. I haven't actually done a complete independent, longer than 45-minute film. I hope to soon. It was funny because we were talking about this on the way down here about the differences of, what kind of film we're going to do next. And I think it's terrific that Andrew's about to embark on his first directorial endeavor on an indie film. But this project Bubble Boy was offered to me.
Bubble Boy?
I think Bubble Boy. It was offered to me, and I thought, this is great. It was, I had a commercial career. I was very fortunate, knock on Formica, that I had gotten this far. And so suddenly I got agents and managers and the whole, stuff. And then I started reading a lot of scripts. And quite frankly, a lot of them were pretty bad, and then I finally read this one script. I didn't know if I wanted to do drama or comedy, whatever. So anyway, I read this one script, and I thought, this is great. I thought it was similar to Pee-wee's Big Adventure, which I was a huge fan of, and Tim Burton as well. So I thought, well, this looks like a good one to do. So, I jumped off the deep end into that studio environment, which I didn't know if I was going to do, what was going to be the first project. So, getting back to what Guy's saying, I'm actually hoping that the next project is independent for a number of reasons. Primarily, I think you just kind of get to be a little more self-expressive, if you will. There's not quite as many cooks in the kitchen. But if I got, offered, Saw 17, that's not a studio picture, is it? Yeah, Bubble Boy 3, actually, or 2. I don't think there's been a 2 yet. But
it happened.
Yeah. Oh no, it's probably on YouTube. I should see it.
No, it didn't happen.
But so again, I'm not sure what the next one will be, and if it's a studio picture, it would have to be something pretty attractive, for me to jump into that lion's den again.